My 5-year-old daughter came home from school, knelt in front of me, and begged me not to send her back to kindergarten, saying she didn't want to go anymore. I asked her why, but she just cried and shook her head, too scared to speak. Sensing something was wrong, I lifted her shirt and found her arms and body covered in tiny puncture marks. Shaking with anger, I snapped a photo and posted it in the kindergarten parents chat group, demanding, "Who did this?" Someone named Luna arrogantly replied, "I told my son to do it." She then sent 2 more pictures. One was a wedding photo of her and my husband. The other was a picture of me, my daughter, and my husband. "You homewrecker. You dared steal my husband and have an illegitimate child? It's a miracle I didn't have my son beat that brat to death." The parent group exploded, filled with insults directed at me and my daughter. Even the teacher tagged Luna, saying, "Mason did well today. I'll make sure to give him a gold star tomorrow." Luna sent a smug emoji and taunted me directly, "If you're mad about it, come find me. My son and I are still at the kindergarten." On the way to the kindergarten with my daughter, I sent my company's legal team a message, "Prepare a divorce agreement per the prenup. I want David out with nothing. Also, my daughter was assaulted at the kindergarten. Bring a team over immediately. I want them to pay dearly. How dare a freeloader like David keep a mistress and a child on the side?" When I arrived at the kindergarten with my daughter, the first person I saw was Luna standing outside. She was surrounded by other parents from the class. "Luna, you're so low-key. If it weren't for all this, we wouldn't have known your husband is the CEO of Martin Group." "Exactly. No wonder I thought you had such a refined aura the moment I saw you. It's that high-class grace that comes with wealth. We're all here to support you today. We're proper mothers, and we can't let a low-class homewrecker push you around." "Right. What good could come from a homewrecker's daughter? Mason is truly the heir of Martin Group. He's already standing up for the people at such a young age." Even the teacher humbled herself, fawning over Luna. "Luna, let me know Mason's favorite foods, and we'll adjust the kindergarten menu to suit his taste from now on." Luna basked in the praise. David had freeloaded off my family for years, doing nothing. To give him some responsibility, I handed him control of the smallest branch of Martin Group. I never expected this would become Luna's source of pride and admiration. As soon as they saw me, the parents who had been flattering her just moments ago immediately frowned, looking at me with disgust. It was as if I were something filthy and repulsive. The teacher walked up to me, her face cold, and said, "Ms. Walker, I've been instructed by the principal to inform you that Emily is expelled, effective immediately." I glared at her and asked coldly, "My daughter was attacked. Instead of seeking justice for her, you're expelling her?" The teacher responded indifferently, "This is an elite kindergarten. The children who come here all come from wealthy or noble families. A child born from a homewrecker like you staying here would only damage our reputation." My expression darkened as I warned her coldly, "I suggest you investigate who the real homewrecker and illegitimate child are before speaking." Just as I finished speaking, Luna stormed over to me. She slapped me hard across the face. "How dare a filthy homewrecker like you flaunt yourself in front of me? Did you really think having a bastard child would let you take my place as Mrs. Jones?" The sudden slap left me stunned. The other parents began mocking me, pointing fingers. "You look decent, so why stoop to being a mistress and having a child?" Some people pretend to be innocent. The moment they see a rich man, they go wild, desperate to spread their legs. Mistresses are the shame of all women, and their kids are even worse. The insults and accusations attracted more bystanders, who started pointing at me. Some even took out their phones to take pictures and videos, and spat at me. I took off my $1,000,000 coat and tossed it into the trash. Then I turned to face Luna directly. "First, you told your son to bully my daughter, and now you're hitting me in public. Who gave you the audacity to act so lawlessly?" Luna arrogantly replied, "It's only right for a wife to slap a mistress. Besides, I'm the wife of the Martin Group CEO. Beating you and your filthy daughter is nothing. I could even take your lives, and it wouldn't matter." The other parents chimed in, "If you hadn't been a mistress, Luna wouldn't have hit you. You brought this on yourself. You're just a filthy mistress. Instead of keeping your head down, you're out here provoking us. Getting slapped is the least of what you deserve. Yeah, you've got a taste for being a tramp, huh? Who are you pretending to be the innocent victim for? We're not like those men blinded by lust." Even the bystanders joined in on the insults. Each insult was more vicious than the last. This only emboldened Luna. She glared at my car behind me, eyes blazing with anger. "You filthy woman, spending my husband's money like it's nothing. How dare you drive a Rolls Royce? A cheap mistress like you doesn't deserve this car. I hate mistresses more than anything. Every mistress on earth should die." As she spoke, she pulled out a key and scratched large letters across my car surface. "Mistresses must die." I glanced at the glaring words and said coldly, "You'll soon realize how ironic those words are." Hearing this, Luna flew into a rage. "You filthy woman, living off my husband's money and acting all high and mighty. Today, I'll make sure you pay back every penny you've taken from him." She picked up a brick from the sidewalk and started smashing my car with all her strength. She didn't spare anything. The windows, headlights, and the hood, everything was attacked. Seeing this, the other parents were energized. They picked up whatever they could find and joined in on the rampage, smashing my car with enthusiasm. After breaking the windows, they climbed inside, slashing at the seats and tearing apart the interior. The once pristine luxury car was quickly reduced to a heap of scrap metal. At that moment, one of the women broke open the trunk and gasped, "Look, there's a bunch of expensive stuff hidden in here." Luna approached, casually pulling out a painting, sneering, "A woman who makes her living selling herself is collecting art, trying to act all cultured? It's an insult for trash like you to own something like this. Someone like you only deserves trash." At that, she tore the painting to shreds right in front of me. After ripping it apart, she threw it to the ground and stomped on it. One of the bystanders, who seemed knowledgeable about art, took a closer look and exclaimed, "This looks like an authentic piece by James. I heard it starts at 300 million at auction." Luna proudly said, "So what if it's worth 300 million? It's all my husband's money anyway. My husband's money is my money. If I want to destroy my own stuff, what's the problem?" Her words left me speechless with anger. Let's not even mention that David was a penniless live-in husband. Even when I let him manage Martin Group, he lost nearly half of the company's value due to his incompetence. If he weren't my husband, I would have fired him long ago. But Luna and these other parents actually see him as some impressive CEO. Every single one of them them looks up to him with admiration. Led by Luna, the other parents followed suit, tearing up my paintings. They all started ripping and smashing the collectibles I had in my trunk. I bought these items at a high price from an auction today. Before I could even place them, they were destroyed. Watching these out-of-control lunatics, I calmly pulled out my phone. Why aren't you here yet? You need to be in front of me within 5 minutes. Before I even got a response, one of the parents snatched my phone and smashed it to the ground, trying to call for help. Where do you get the nerve? Are you pretending to be someone important, huh? She's probably calling one of her clients to put on a show for us. Ha ha ha. The parents laughed even louder, openly mocking me. I stared at my shattered phone on the ground and said coldly, I hope you'll still be laughing this hard in a few minutes. Then I turned to the teacher and asked, you knew my daughter was being bullied at school, didn't you? The teacher glared at me with disdain. So what if I did? A bastard daughter of a worthless mistress is nothing but trash. Mason was just taking out the trash. What's the issue? Hearing this, the parents present started clapping and cheering. That's why you're the teacher. You handle things so fairly and directly. Exactly. This is an elite school. Not just anyone can come here. Why does a mistress daughter need an education? You should just teach her how to seduce men like you did. Who knows? Maybe she'll be even better at it and land a richer guy. Luna got even bolder. See that? This is what happens when you're a mistress. You and your daughter are destined to live at the bottom of society, hated by everyone. The scene was filled with insults directed at me, and the bystanders joined in with their jeers. The more they cursed at me, the wider Luna smiled. The teacher seized the moment to flatter Luna. Mrs. Jones, the principal said if this situation is resolved to your satisfaction, he hopes you can do us a favor. You know we're planning to expand the school, and all the land around here belongs to Martin Group. What do you think? Crossing her arms, Luna arrogantly replied, don't worry, I'm very pleased with how you handled things today. When the time comes, I'll just say the word, and my husband will give you all the land you need. The teacher couldn't stop smiling. Thank you in advance, Mrs. Jones. Luna, my husband has worked with Martin Group before. Could you keep us in mind for future deals? My company's looking to switch industries too. I'd love to have the chance to work with Martin Group in the future. Luna, here's a no-limit shopping card from my mall. I hope we can stay close. In an instant, the parents scrambled to curry favor with Luna, each trying harder than the next to flatter her. Some even went so far as to slip their bank cards into her bag. Luna reveled in the attention, radiating arrogance. She raised her chin, strutted over me, and smugly said, see that? This is the power of money and influence. Someone like you, a nobody mistress, will spend your whole life spreading your legs, hoping for scraps from men. But me? I get to enjoy the kind of glory you'll never even dream of reaching. I'll give you one day. Take your bastard daughter and get out of the city. If I see you messing with my husband again, I'll bury that little brat of yours alive. Hearing this, my daughter trembled and clung to me. Mom, I'm scared. My foot, it hurts so much. Her voice was filled with terror and pain. I removed her little boot and saw one of her toes was missing. The wound was horrifying. There was even blood pooled inside her shoe. My heart felt like it had been stabbed. My eyes filled with tears that wouldn't stop falling. I couldn't fathom how my delicate, pain-averse daughter had endured so much without saying a word until now. I glared furiously at Luna. Did your son do this too? Luna glanced at me, her tone indifferent. Why the fuss? You should be glad I didn't have my son take that brat's life. Before she could finish, I slapped her hard across the face. That slap carried all of my rage, every ounce of strength I had. It sent Luna stumbling backward. As I moved to hit her again, another parent suddenly grabbed my hair. The other parents swarmed at me, punching and kicking. You filthy wench. How dare you lay a hand on Mrs. Jones? Are you tired of living? Yeah, your brat isn't even dead yet. Why rush to join her? Your kid's lucky Mason taught her a lesson. With trash like you for a mom, she deserves whatever she gets, even if it's death. Even the teacher, full of indignation, kicked me. Stop hitting my mom, my daughter cried, trying to intervene, but a chubby boy kicked her to the ground. The teacher patted the boy's head and praised him with a smile. Mason, you've always known how to punish wrongdoers. You're such a good kid. Tomorrow, I'll make sure to praise you in front of the whole school and give you an award. Mason squinted with a smug grin. Humph, it's what I'm supposed to do. I'll beat that brat every time I see her. I was lying on the ground, trembling with rage as I gritted my teeth. You'll regret this. Hearing this, they burst into laughter as if I had told the funniest joke in the world. Did I hear that right? A lowly mistress has the nerve to make threats? Hilarious. This wench actually thinks she's someone important. Mrs. Jones is the CEO's wife. Squashing her is as easy as crushing an ant. This worthless tramp can't do anything, so she's just throwing a tantrum. Ha ha ha. What a disgrace. If I were her, I'd have already offed myself. The parents held me down, relentlessly mocking and humiliating me. The bystanders weren't any better, spitting at me and hurling insults. Basking in their support, Luna drove her sharp, high heel into my face. Ha ha ha. Regret? I've never regretted anything in my life. I'd love to see how someone like you could make me regret a thing. Just as she finished, a line of luxury cars sped up and stopped at the school gates. One after another, men in suits quickly stepped out of the cars. The sudden commotion caught everyone's attention. The noisy crowd fell into an eerie silence. The parents who had been holding me down immediately let go, straightened up, and turned their eyes toward the scene. Luna withdrew her foot, her gaze fixed on the convoy of luxury cars. I quickly stood up and helped my daughter off the ground. Under everyone's watchful eyes, a man in a suit walked to the lead car and respectfully opened the door. Out stepped David, dressed in a tailored suit, exuding a charisma that instantly drew the attention of the crowd. His handsome appearance and distinguished aura caught everyone's eye. Isn't that Mr. Jones? Yes, it's him. Wow, even his entrance is so grand. And he's so handsome too. No wonder that shameless woman was trying so hard to cozy up to him. As the envious murmurs grew louder, Luna proudly approached David, linking her arm through his. Honey, what are you doing here? She asked, smiling sweetly. David gave her a loving smile and replied, didn't you mention you had a little run-in at the preschool? Of course, I came to back you and our son up. Luna batted her eyes at him, clearly enjoying the attention. Really? So no matter who messes with me, you'll always be on my side? David didn't hesitate. Of course, you and our son are my treasures. Anyone who dares to hurt you will have to deal with me. Seeing that David was fully prepared to stand up for her, Luna beamed with pride. The other parents were green with envy. I've always heard that Mr. Jones spoils his wife. Now, it's clear he really does. Look at them. A perfect couple if I've ever seen one. Exactly. I don't understand how some people have the nerve to try to wreck their marriage. And she dared to mess with Mrs. Jones? She's way out of her league. Mr. Jones is about to handle this. Let's see how that homewrecker holds up now. Amid the gossiping crowd, Mason suddenly ran up to David and threw his arms around him. Dad. David knelt and scooped Mason up in his arms. Hey buddy, your mom tells me someone gave you trouble at school? Mason smirked, his eyes narrowing into slits. Yeah, there was this little brat. When I hit her, she almost pushed me down. But I really gave her a lesson. I even cut her toe. David pinched Mason's chubby cheeks and smiled approvingly. Good job, my boy. You're really something. If anyone dares to fight back in the future, you hit them as hard as you want. Don't worry about it. I will handle everything afterward. Got it? Mason nodded firmly. Got it, Dad. Good boy. After praising Mason, David turned to Luna. Now show me who had the nerve to mess with our son. Hearing this, Luna immediately led David through the crowd and pointed at me and my daughter, shouting, Honey, it's that shameless mother and daughter over there.